Hi, it's Jill and Ash here from Kettlebell Warriors, and we're going to be going through a lower body volume circuit with you today. Okay, so it's nice and short, but we're going to get a lot of repetitions in there. So this is really, really good if you're training for anything where you want to increase a little bit of endurance. So thing that you will need is a kettlebell, or any kind of weight. You could actually do this with dumbbells and mix it up with bodyweight exercises as well. There's only 3 exercises for us today, so it's not a very complicated workout, but that does not mean it's not going to be hard. Okay, so just to get you started, we're going to go over the first exercise, which is the squat. Okay, so just a quick recap about your squat positioning. You want your feet roughly underneath your hips. Squat positioning will change from person to person. So just make sure that feet are roughly underneath hips and that your knees are pointing in the direction of your toes as you bend down. So if you remember, your squat is a fold from the knees and also the hips simultaneously. Okay, so you can notice that Ash is sitting his bottom behind, and now he's going to rise right up, and he's got that kettlebell nice and tight into the chest. Okay, we're going to pop that bell down. Exercise number 2 is known as the sumo deadlift, one of my favorite exercises because it's a great way to introduce you into deadlifts. Okay, so with this, if you do have another kettlebell which is slightly heavier, you might want to go for a heavier bell on this one. Okay, so think about a sumo wrestler. You've got your feet a lot wider than you would on a normal deadlift or a normal squat. You're going to turn your toes out, and we're going to encourage that hip hinge motion here. So hip hinge like we do in the swing, pushing the hips to the back, loading those hamstrings up. The back is nice and flat, chest up. You're going to take hold of that bell and you're going to power through the hips into that full upright position. Okay, so Ash is just doing a couple of reps here. You'll notice that the main predominant bend here is in the hips. Okay, so don't confuse with a squat. It's the hip drive that goes backwards on this one. Alrighty then, and we'll move on to the king of the kettlebell exercises, the swing. All right, so again, encouraging that hip hinge motion, no squat swings here, pushing the hips back, taking hold of the bell, which is at the tip of your tripod base on the floor, and you're going to power that bell back behind you and all the way up to shoulder height. Okay, so that's what we're working with. 3 exercises. We're going to do quite a few reps of these. 10 for the squat, 20 for the deadlift, 10 for the swing. We're going to take a little bit of a rest for 30 seconds, and then we're going to repeat that 5 times. You can repeat this at home any amount of times that you want to. If you want to add a little bit more volume in, go for 10 sets. Okay, so we're just going to do 5 today. So grab your bells, tuck it nice and tight into the chest. Pull the shoulders back and down, feet hip distance apart, 10 reps, off you go. Okay, so Ash is going to be demoing for me. You'll notice that he's got his shoes off. You can whip those shoes off at home if you need to. Squats always feel a lot better at home with kettlebells when you've got nothing cushioning underneath the toes. Okay, so you'll notice that he's sitting back into his heels. He's got a nice deep bend. Okay, so we're hoping on our squats to break that angle. Okay, so break that 90-degree angle. We're going to go into our sumo deadlifts now, so 20 reps. So big wide stride, ground yourself on the floor, push the hips back, hold of the kettlebell, power the hips through. On that upward movement, I want you to focus on squeezing the glutes. We're going for 20 reps. We're really using this exercise to get those glutes activated, so big strong muscles in the body. Okay, so lifting up, power the hips through. That's it, nearly there. So heart rate should be just starting to get up by now, if it's not already. And we're going to get ready to go into our 10 kettlebell swings. This is a really good movement for encouraging hip hinge, which is exactly what we're going to be working with on our kettlebell swing. Okay, coming up to our 20. And place the bell down. Just shake yourself through if you need to. These are back-to-back exercises, so if you need to take a little breather in between, failing that, off we go. 10 reps, okay? So pushing the hips back, powering through, getting that bell all the way up to shoulder height. We're going to take a little bit of a breather after this one. So circuit 1 is almost done. 10 reps. Focus on that breath and rest it down. Well done. Okay, we're going to take a 30-second rest here. Longer if you need to, shorter if you want to get that endurance and volume built up. Okay, so you can do this workout, track it at home and cut your rest periods if you wish. We're going to stick with 30 seconds for today. It's not long and we're nearly there. So we're going to get ready for set 2, 10 squats. Okay, so let's get that bell racked up. So it's in the goblet hold position. Just check our shoulders aren't pulling up towards our ears. We want to pull down and off we go for 10 reps. So you'll notice that Ash is powering the hips all the way through. He's pushing through the hips, through the heels, yeah? Pushing the big toe into the ground. Another little tip, if you've got no soles on, you can really ground yourself with your feet. And coming up to 10, pop that bell down. We're gonna go into our sumo. So think sumo wrestler, nice and strong. Ground yourself, push through the heels, through the big toe, push the hips back, so visually cue yourself. Off we go, 20 reps. Powering those hips through. Excellent. Just with your eyes as well on your sumo deadlift, try not to look underneath your legs because it can affect your form. You probably want your eyes just gazing forward and down at the ground, okay? Excellent stuff. Beautiful. So you can go a little bit heavier with these. As I say, if you have got extra weights or extra kettlebells at home. Deadlift, big strong movement, and we can afford to have a little bit of extra weight as long as we're not feeling it in the lower back. Okay, so we want a nice flat back. Okay, we're nearly there on those 20 reps. We're going to go into our 10 swings. Beautifully done there, Ash. Excellent. Okay, getting ready for our swing now. We want to pop our kettlebell down. And remember, the top of the kettlebell is at the tip of a triangle. So that's your setup. Off we go for 10 swings. Powering back, that's 2 done already. And this bell all the way up to shoulder height if you can, but no higher. We're going a lot higher on our swings, just increase the weight of your bell. Excellent stuff, nearly there. Right then, that's 2 sets done. We've got 30-second rest. Okay, on our rest, we want to keep that blood pumping around our body, okay? We don't want to slump too much, so just shake yourselves through some nice fast and loose drills just to ease out any tension, getting ourselves ready, keeping ourselves a little bit fired up for our next set. Okay, we've got 10 seconds. We're coming into set 3, okay? So starting off with those front squats. We ready to go, Ash? So grabbing hold of the bell, checking your position of your feet, into your chest, and off we go. Let's squat for 10, okay? As we're fatiguing in this circuit, you will want to drop into your squat. So I'm gonna encourage you to slowly resist that force, power up from the heels, okay? So resist the squat going down, power coming up. Okay, another little tip at the bottom is try and activate your glutes. Okay, so in the bottom of that squat, squeezing and then pushing up. Into our sumo deadlifts now, 20 reps, feet positioning nice and wide. We want the bell handle close to where your shins would go if it was a barbell. Okay, 20 reps, off we go. Pushing those hips through at the top of this movement. So the top of your deadlift is a nice upright position. Everything strong, everything squeezed. Beautiful. Okay guys, we're nearly there. Getting yourself totally set up now, fired up, ready for your kettlebell swings. So brilliant workout this for our hips. Yeah, so our glutes, our hamstrings, our quads, really strong, safe hips. And coming up to our 20. Awesome stuff. And we'll go into our kettlebell swings. Brilliant, guys. Okay, let's move on to 10 kettlebell swings. Okay, this is circuit 3, so you're probably feeling it by now. If you're finding that your form is suffering, guys, at home, we can just take a little bit longer to rest, okay? Remember the power of the breath on those swings, okay? Easy to hyperventilate when you're doing a kettlebell swing. It's fast, ballistic, powerful movement. We want to get that breath working. And we're resting again, just for 30 seconds. So shake yourselves through. Well done. See, on paper, 3 exercises doesn't seem like a lot. When you're putting a lot of volume in and you're doing this back to back, heart rate's going to be high. Okay, you don't even have to use a lot of weight to get a good workout for this. But if your form is good, by all means, increase the weight on those deadlifts and the swings. All right, guys, we're ready to go. Set 4. Let's go into those squats. So remembering tension on the body now, okay? So let's get those glutes fired from the bottom. So pulling in, don't forget, getting a good core workout from the squats, especially when you're using a kettlebell front squat. That's why I love it as an exercise. Often my clients will come away, abs will be killing them, they don't know why, and it's because they've done a lot of kettlebell front squats. So this core section is getting activated. Just make sure that we're pulling that bell into us and we're not taking it too far away. Beautiful. Right, let's go into that sumo deadlift. So adjust our stride. Big wide stance, grounding yourself, making sure that the bell is directly underneath your feet. Sorry, underneath your hips. And off we go, 20 reps. That's 2 done. So remembering our power plank at the top, so we're squeezing our body, squeezing our glutes, nice and strong. Awesome. So with this workout at home, we can add more repetitions if we need to, but I'd encourage you to stick with this rep range until you've got your weight up there. Should be struggling with this, should be fatiguing by the end of it. If you find it's too easy, then we can increase that weight. There's not much rest in this, so there's not much room for maneuver on taking out the rest periods. Excellent. Okay, so keep pushing those knees out. Try not to let them cave in on that sumo deadlift. Ready to go in to our swings. I think Ashley's feeling it now. Okay, we've got that hip hinge. Let's load the hamstrings. So chest goes down, push our hips to the back, power that swing back all the way up. So as if we're pushing that bell behind us and then firing it all the way up to the top. So think pendulum motion. Making sure those hamstrings loaded, kicking in. Excellent, well done. We've got 30 seconds rest. 1 more round, okay? So everything you've got in this last round, shake yourself through, keep your feet moving. If you're really, really flagging now, guys, we can take the bell out of these squats and just do a bodyweight version. That's no problem. And we're ready to go. Let's go in 5. So let's get that bell racked. Lock the core in, so tense. You want to be bracing your core in this position, making sure everything is completely strong, okay? So we're not pushing our lower back in, we're locking it in and almost upwards. As if someone's going to punch you in the stomach and you're going to brace yourself for that punch. Awesome stuff. Okay, after our 10, ready to go into that sumo deadlift. Brilliant work, Ash. Okay, let's take our feet nice and wide. Ground yourself. Think sumo thoughts. Pushing those knees out. Push the hips back. Make sure the hamstrings are loaded. 20 reps. Off you go. So you'll see it's a nice controlled movement. Okay, so we're not just allowing the bell to pull us. We're resisting it. Whole body working as a unit. Think about contracting, squeezing the muscles. Excellent, well done. Watch those knees, so keep pushing those knees out. Try not to let them knock in. Tracking the toes with the knees. Getting ourselves nice and fired up, ready for our kettlebell swings. We've got 10 to finish. Nearly there. Using the breath, guys. Beautifully done. And we're ready for those swings. Okay, we've got 10 reps to go. Come on, you can do this. Stay with it. We've got that bell, tip of the triangle, tilt it back, ground yourself, pushing your toes down into the ground, and off we go. Drive with the hips. So those hips will be absolutely fired up now after this workout. Just the 10 to finish. Brilliant stuff, guys. Okay, that is 5 sets, volume, lower body workout. Well done.